Hey, everybody, I'm back. Okay, so I want to give my review on The Bold and the Bougie. Now, I'm gonna be honest, I feel like it was a cute show. Like, it probably won't be appointment TV. Like, oh, I'm gonna watch that. I need to watch that. I want to watch it live and not on demand or what have you. So far, I don't think it will be, but I definitely think it's a cute little show. I'm always down for watching a cast of beautiful Black women. Listen, I love that. Those wigs, Malaysia, baby. You are too gorgeous of a woman to be walking around with the stage play Tyler Perry wigs. Remember the stage plays they have, and you could see the microphone sticking out of the front? That's what it reminded me of. Malaysia did an interview with Carlos King, and I was supposed to be recapping that, but she thanked him for building the show around her. And he pretty much confirmed that this show was built around her. I also remember when he had Neo's ex wife, Crystal Smith, on and talked about working with her. So it's interesting the way this cast of people came together. So, first, let's go over the cast. We have Malaysia. She says she dropped the Pargo. She's Malaysia. And, they have their lower third. So, it comes up what they do. So Malaysia, founder and CEO of Vanity World, owner of Three Beats Custom Children's Jewelry. We have Princess Lofty. Is it Loft or Lofty? I kept getting that confused. She's the creator of The Real Housewives of Atlanta, CEO of Loft 22 Entertainment, co-owner of a family dental practice. We have Tamika Raymond Foster, celebrity fashion stylist. She styled anybody from Jay-Z to Toni Braxton, Usher, and more. She's also the owner and creative director of Eli Kish Clothing and runs the arts charity Kyle's World Foundation. So I'll get into the rest of the women as we get into the scene. So it opens up with Goshay Hawkins. And I remember Goshay from the season of Atlanta with Demetria McKinney, Roger Bob. I think Goshay had dated maybe or either knew someone. I can't really remember, but um, who knew Roger Bob. Every time I hear the name Roger, I want to say Roger Bob. But that's where I remember first seeing Goshay. So Goshay Hawkins, she is the owner of Goshay's Breakfast Bar, shows up to meet Crystal, who is Neo's ex-wife. She says she is Crystal Renee. She's no longer Crystal Smith. And they meet at the studio where Crystal is dropping some beats, some rhymes, some raps. Crystal, like I said, she's rapping. Goshay asked her if her ex got her into it since he was a performer. She said when she was with her ex, he laughed at her. And then when she got into the booth in the studio, people were looking stupid because it sounded good. I'm not going to lie. I heard her interview with Carlos, but for some reason, watching her on the show, I guess I didn't realize she sounded the way she sounded. Like it threw me for a minute. I don't know. It was very different from because again, I must have forgot how she sounded. So just looking at her, the sound that came out her mouth was very different than what I would have imagined. I'll just say that. She says she has her kids and her restaurant business, so she is good. She has Johnny's Chicken and Waffles. So Goshay asked Crystal, does she think she can date a woman? Which I thought almost kind of came out of the blue, but not really because they were talking about Neo. So Goshay asked Crystal if she could date a woman. And then Goshay said she's in a relationship with a woman. She's actually married to a woman. She has a wife. Crystal says she can't eat. She can't eat coochie. It's like, okay, well, I guess if you can't, then the relationship won't work because that is definitely a must. Goshay asked Chris. Oh, I already told you that. So Crystal says she can't eat coochie, but she does say she's been with two girls and her, but there was no threesome with another man. And she said maybe if she had had a threesome, she would still be married to her ex, since apparently that's what he likes. Remember, Monietta talked about she had had some threesomes with Neo, and he just kept wanting them. And I guess Monietta was like, nah, I'm not for that. But it was interesting because Crystal was like, he knew better than to ask me that. So I felt like, was that kind of like a little bit of a dig or like, girl, he had you doing them, but he knew better than to ask me. So uh Goshay tells Crystal that she's having a party because they gotta get something to get all the ladies together. So Gaucher tells Crystal she's having a party for the launch of her grits and pancakes line. She's having a pool party, black aspen, bikinis and furs. I get that we say put black on certain things like black this, black that, but to me, the aspens is just aspen, and black people go to Aspen. You know what I mean? So a part of me was kind of like, me and Carlos, shout out to Carlos Harris, we talked about that. Like, black people do these things too. It doesn't always have to be, so I don't know. Just, it's kind of like, okay. But anyway, she says bikini and furs. Crystal doesn't know what kind of reception she's going to get from Malaysia and Tamika because they're good friends with Neo's ex, Moneta. I mean, judging by this show, is Moneta like the mayor of Atlanta? Like, people call Candy the mayor, but is Moneta Candy's chief of staff? Because it just seems like everybody knows Moneta. Next up, we meet Princess Loft. So Princess pulls up to Georgia Plastics Reconstructions, and she lets us know who she is. Again, she created the Atlanta Housewives. She has an entertainment company, and she is co-owner of a family dental practice. Her husband is a dentist. She meets Tamika Raymond Foster there, or Tamika Foster Raymond there. She says she's known Tamika for years. She actually interviewed her for some shows. She actually interviewed her for the Real Housewives of Atlanta, but then Tamika moved to LA. She said that she never tells her age. She then tells, she never tells her age. So Tamika gets there, they talk, and she tells Tamika, I want to share with you why I'm here. She said during a routine breast reduction, she lost her breast. She got bilateral necrosis, which is when cells in the tissue die on your skin, and it's usually due to lack of oxygen. She's since had 11 procedures because of that. So, like, can you imagine you're going in for a breast reduction thinking this is going to help with your quality of life and, you'll be happy with where you, not saying that she wasn't happy with her body then, but clearly she wanted, a reduction. You're thinking it's just a simple reduction. You're not even getting them enhanced. And you wake up with no breasts, like none. Like, that is why. And I wonder if she sued, like, was she able to sue? Was it due to something that the doctor did? Because if she wasn't getting oxygen, if her breasts weren't getting oxygen, or, and I don't mean to say, I hope I'm not sounding ignorant, but she had bilateral necrosis, which is when the cells in the tissue die because of your skin, die on your skin, and it's due to lack of oxygen. So her not getting oxygen, like, was the doctor liable? Or when you sign that waiver, you know what I mean? Who knows? But I felt for her in that moment. Tamika lets her know that she had a reduction and she almost died. She said she went to Brazil because she wanted to get a reduction, and she had a little pudge that she wanted to get rid of, and she went into full cardiac arrest and flatlined and died. She said she doesn't remember any of it, but she knows she wouldn't do it again, not electively. Tamika is the same from Atlanta exes, whether that's good or bad. Sometimes I wonder, is she kind of like with us? Because sometimes I feel like she is off somewhere else. I don't know. And I know that I'm just going to be honest. I know that she said she's not going to get any more work done electively, but it seemed like she was very sculpted on her cheekbones. And I don't know if I'm the only one that noticed that. I don't know. So at the doctor's, shot him, scroll past my notes real quick. So at the doctor's, child, where is my notes, honey? I didn't took all these notes. Okay, so Princess was at the doctor's. Tamika was with her, and Princess was getting filler to give her a little projection for some nipples without making a full reconstruction. It's amazing what science can do. So she's able to get filler to basically simulate kind of like a nipple without getting a full reconstruction. Tamika says that it is just vanity. And the look on Princess' face was like, she was shocked, which I would be too. After I'm done telling you, I was going in for a breast reduction, which could have been health related because that could have affected, she could have had back pain, all kinds of things. So, and even still, even if it was just because cosmetic, doesn't mean she's vain, right? But so Tamika says it's for vanity, and Princess was just kind of like, wow. Tamika says basically she don't need nipples. Now, here's my thing. They supposedly go back way back. Princess said she's known Tamika for years. They go way back. And I'm not saying it's just something that you would just bring up in conversation, but when is the last time y'all saw each other until this show? Because I was shocked that Tamika didn't know that. And maybe that's just me being naive, but I'm like, you say you go way back. And I guess, you know what? You can go way back with a person, meaning, hey, I go way back with my elementary school classmates. So if I were to see them today, I guess I could say we go way back. Because other than that, like, you don't know that this happened to her. And this show is sort of like the same pattern as the Housewives. Get these women together and they try to establish these connections. For me, I felt like two things were going on at the same time. Like there was like they were letting us know we're not friends. We don't really know each other, but some of us know of each other. We've maybe been in the same circles. Some of us knew each other a long time ago, but then at the same time, it was like, oh, but we go way back. Like I felt like they were trying to do both. Say they knew each other, but didn't know each other. They were close, but not close. That's what it felt like to me. Like, again, same thing like Housewives or what have you. Princess is really triggered about having to find a bathing suit for the party. Her and Tamika discuss Gaucher's party. They talk about it, and Tamika says it feels very Kim, but like 20 years ago, little Kim. Next up, we get to Gaucher in Malaysia. And see, this is one of the parts that I mean about we know we go way back. We used to be close, but I kind of know you, but kind of don't. Gaucher and Malaysia meet up. Malaysia is ziplining. Malaysia, this wig, enough. I'm not going to keep getting on it, but baby, come on. She said she's an LA transplant, but she loves to moonlight in Atlanta. She says she loves to zip line and do adventurous things when she's by her, when she's in her zone by herself. She asked Gaucher. Gaucher says, nope, no, ma'am. They talk about how far they go back, over 10 years. So Gaucher used to do Malaysia's hair, right? So they're talking. So she goes, girl, when did you get back? And when she said that, I was thinking before Malaysia answered, oh, she must have just recently got back. She said, when did you get back? Malaysia said she's been back in Atlanta for 8 months. That's almost a year. Gaucher had no idea. And that's when I was like, now, girl, I know y'all may not be the best of friends. I know maybe y'all used to be close, but you didn't know she's been back in Atlanta for 8 months. Yeah, y'all ain't spoke to each other probably since 10 years ago when you was doing her hair. And that's what I mean. It was like, okay. So Gaucher asked Malaysia about Basketball Wives. What happened in Malaysia basically was like it was toxic. She felt like she was always being critiqued and put down. I can give her that, but I can also say she was also a part of doing that to others as well. Think about, I cannot believe, oh my gosh, I cannot believe, oh my gosh, it's escaping me with the wig. And her and Evelyn are in a lawsuit right now. Oh my gosh, I'm drawing a blank. Oh my gosh, I feel so bad. But if y'all watch Basketball Wives, y'all know she's the colorism conversation came up. I cannot believe I'm blanking on her name. But I say I know y'all are screaming it out at me. Oh my gosh. Like my brain is literally blank. But anyway, Malaysia was talking about being critiqued and being put down. And again, like I said, I do believe that happened to Malaysia. Also, Malaysia, you were a part of doing that to the other women as well. That was the formula for the show. Gaucher said that she is known for doing hair, but after a while, things changed. So she said people didn't know, but she's always loved to cook. Her friends would always tell her she should open up a restaurant. So in 2018, she decided to open up a restaurant. So she has Gaucher's Tapas Bar, Gaucher's Breakfast Bar, Gaucher's other breakfast bar again, and Gaucher's food truck. She tells Malaysia about the pool party she is having. Lets Malaysia know who's going to be there. And Malaysia's like, look, I don't know Crystal, because of course Crystal comes up because Malaysia is good friends with Moniette. And she was like, as long as she's respectful, she's all good to be around her. And as long as all the ladies basically don't get negative, but as soon as she gets divided, they're trying to put people down, she knows how to remove herself from a situation. We get the next scene, we go to Tamika. She is buying a bigger home. Right now, she lives in a townhome. She loves it, but it's not big enough. She's a collector of things, so she needs more room. She calls Malaysia to come meet her because Malaysia is into investment properties, i.e., they needed a reason to get Malaysia and Tamika together because it's the same like Housewives. She found a home. She said this home, they show the home, it has beautiful bones, but it needs a lot of help. So she wants to renovate it, and she wants her home to feel like she's living in an Italian villa, basically. Malaysia meets her there. They talk about who is going to be at the party. Tamika's like, oh, but I don't know, Crystal. I don't know if I want to be there because Mo is her dog, Monyetta's her dog, and Malaysia's like, we have to be fair and give her a chance. We need to meet her. In the meantime, Princess brings over her fur lady. I said, come on, Princess, with the fur lady to find a fur for Gaucher's party. She's stressed about having to find an outfit because she has a lot of scarring from her surgery from when she lost her breast. So it gives her anxiety. So she wants a bad fur, meaning a good fur to, I guess, kind of make her feel good and make her feel in theme. Her husband comes in. I feel like I've seen him before. Anyway, her husband comes in. She talks to him about how what Tamika said at the plastic surgeon's office got to her and triggered her because Tamika was kind of brush it off like it's just vanity, but really that's a part of who she is. Like she has to deal with this. And she's tired of people just basically brushing it off. Her husband says, why do you have to explain to people? Who cares what they think? But as a woman, I get where she's coming from. You know, it's her body and how she feels. Johnny's world famous chicken and waffles, child. We get to Crystal's restaurant. She walks in, talks to the staff. Crystal says she didn't like to cook growing up, but when she got with her ex, Neo, well, she didn't say his name. Seems like she's not trying to say his name or Monyetta's name. But when she got with her ex, there was a lot of scrutiny and rumors, and she got depressed and started cooking, and it became her therapy. She said, God will take your pain and turn it into power, baby. So her friend Shad shows up. It's funny because he gets a title card too, and it says actor slash host slash influencer, 534K followers on Instagram. I was like, oh, okay. He went to Colombia and got rhinoplasty, and Crystal told him he looks like an old rich white woman, and he said, thank you. I'm not going to get into the rhinoplasty. He is Crystal's best friend, and she said he was the only one that was there for her through her divorce to help with her kids. She leaned on him a lot. They talk about the date she's gone on. One of them must play basketball for Miami because they called him Miami. Talked about basketball. He also said he loves Malaysia. That's his baby. She wants to make sure, I noticed that she wants to make sure she talks about that she was not the reason that Neo and Monyetta broke up. And she talks about the pool party and who's going to be there. And she says Malaysia's going to be there. And she hoped that Malaysia don't have any pressure on her chest about another woman's vagina, meaning Monyetta. Like, in other words, I hope you don't come with no attitude because of your homegirl. Like, get a chance to know me. We get to Gaucher's house. Gaucher's house looks beautiful from the outside, what we could see. I wonder if her wife is going to be shown because she did say earlier in the episode that her wife doesn't want like the spotlight. So I just wonder. The party setup is going good. It looks really good. Princess shows up first. She's in a cute white lace jumper with a white fur. She's the first one there. She says she's always early. First one there out of the group. Crystal shows up, child, with fur on her shoes, and Princess says she's confused. Let me tell you, Gaucher in that pink bathing suit with the netting over it, she looked good. I said, come on, madam. Because that's what she was given. She looked good with the pink fur. The three of them take shots. Then Malaysia shows up, child, and boots with the fur. The whole party looking at her. Yeah, she had on the fur boots, the fur hat. She had on a vest and bikini top and a little cheerleading skirt with the belt. I said, come on, Malaysia. It's funny because at one point Malaysia's hat comes off, then it's back on. I was like, okay, so how many times did they film this scene? But Malaysia's hat comes off. She comes in, introduces herself to Crystal, and then pulls her to the side to take a shot. She says she's confused in her confessional. She's confused about the Crystal of it all. So she wants to clear the air. She told Crystal, I want you to hear from my mouth that there's no issue. I love Mo. Crystal made sure to let her know that she came into the picture when Neo, like basically she came into the picture when Neo and Monyetta were not together. Like she was not a factor in their breakup. Malaysia is like, well, as long as you're not talking negative about her, we're good. She says, and of course, Crystal keeps saying my ex and his ex. So Malaysia was like, you can't even say her name. Crystal was like, I don't want to continue to have conversations about my ex and my ex's kid's mom, which I get. Like every person I meet in this group, because I'm in Atlanta now, I gotta have a conversation about my ex and his ex-wife. Malaysia is basically telling her, look, I don't want you to get annoyed, but you are in Atlanta and everyone in here probably knows her or is close to her. Crystal is basically like, I would just rather not talk about the situation at all. Malaysia says, I'm not being confrontational at all. Because it almost started to feel, to me, it started to feel like it was a little bit. Like it went from, let me pull you aside, take a shot, I want to get to know you, to like, I see you're getting upset, and not really seeing Crystal's side. I think Malaysia could have been like, I just wanted to pull you aside and say, girl, look, I don't know about the situation. I just want you to know that I'm close to Mo. That's not going to stop me from getting to know you. I just want to say, as long as there's no negative talk about Mo, then we all good. You know what I mean? I felt like it went a little deeper with Malaysia. Her telling her, I know you're getting annoyed, but you're in Atlanta and everyone in here probably knows her, is close to her. So Malaysia says, I'm not being confrontational at all. I'm just being super duper caring. I noticed that the ladies love to say that, but I'm just being super duper caring because I really want to get to know you. Crystal was like, just get to know me. Now, in her confessional, she said, you ladies don't know me. You don't know the ins and outs of my family dynamic whatsoever. And honestly, at the end of the day, I don't owe any of you bees an explanation, conversation, or anything in regards to Manetta, my ex-husband, or anybody involved in the Smith Foundation. Okay. I said, well, I'm with you. I was with her on that. They, in their conversation, I think Malaysia has the fur hat on again. Malaysia and Princess are talking around the pool. And Princess says she was telling Gaucher and Crystal why she can't wear a bikini when Tamika, but she'll tell all of them why she can't wear a bikini when Tamika gets there. And I was wondering, I'm like, I feel like that came out of thin air, but evidently Malaysia was talking to her and I guess hounding her about wearing a swimsuit. We just didn't see that. So Princess is like, I'll tell you when everybody gets here. Let's see. So Princess starts to tell this. So Tamika gets there. Malaysia gathers everyone around and is like, Princess needs to tell us why she's not wearing a bathing suit. Tamika says, I need to take a shot for this. Princess starts to tell them what happened, how she woke up with no breasts, all of that. Crystal gets emotional, and so does Malaysia. Malaysia gives her a hug, and then in her confessional says she was mortified because she was badgering this woman about not having a swimsuit when there's a real life issue, and she feels sad for her to be missing a part of her lady parts. Crystal said her heart goes out to her. Child, that Crystal said that in her confessional. Tamika in her confessional said, not here. Everybody's having fun, not here. Let's not do this here, not now. Tamika then tells Gaucher she was concerned about the party because it was given Little Kim 30 years ago. Tamika then points to Crystal and asks Gaucher, is that Crystal? Girl, you were literally just standing in a circle with her. You know that's Crystal. Tamika says she needs to know if Crystal and Mo are cool because Mo is her dog. Gaucher said, well, Mo is my girl too. So I think Gaucher was feeling a type of way like, you saying that as if to say, Mo is not my dog and I don't care for her just as much as you do. Just because Crystal is here doesn't mean I don't. And the reality is we're all on a show together. So let's not. Mo said in her, I'm sorry. Gaucher said in her confessional, she didn't foresee any type of problems with this group of girls. When she spoke with everybody was cool except for Tamika. So now I have to go back. Gaucher, you're saying you didn't foresee any type of problems with these girls. Everybody was cool except for Tamika. So you had to know there was going to be some type of issue. She said, Tamika was like, Crystal who? And Gaucher said something about the name Crystal didn't sit right with Tamika. Tamika then goes up to Crystal, introduces herself, and says with the group, I only know of you because I'm tight with Mo. So, I'm so loyal. I'm loyal to a flaw, I think she said, or to a fault. I'm sorry. I'm loyal to a fault. Malaysia was like, why are you saying you're loyal to Mo? Didn't y'all just say hi? So at first I was like, Malaysia, you did the same thing too. But Malaysia did say hello and then pull her off to the side versus Tamika kind of just went right in and was like, hi, I'm Tamika. I only know you because of what happened with you and my girlfriend, and I'm loyal to a fault. So Malaysia's like, didn't y'all just say hi? In her confessional, Malaysia says, so Manetta is one of my closest friends as well, and I would never introduce myself to another woman as her friend. She said, I get it. You want to have your friends back and represent yourself as such, but that's kind of weird to me. I feel like it's almost like a threat. Again, it's interesting to me because Malaysia introduced herself to Crystal and then had a conversation. I felt like maybe it was a little less in your face than Tamika, but nonetheless, to me, I felt like she kind of sort of did the same thing. If y'all watched, let me know what y'all think. Did y'all think the two situations were similar? Gaucher then asked Crystal, because they're by themselves, what happened? And Crystal was like, nothing happened. It was just an introduction. Gaucher was like, well, what'd she say? Crystal let her know what Tamika said. And Gaucher said, I wasn't expecting anybody here saying that's my girl. Crystal said, I 100,000% expected it. So Gaucher was like, I didn't expect anyone to come here and come straight at you like Monyetta's my girl. Crystal said, I 100,000% expected it, which is why I stay home. In her confessional, Crystal said, even though what's going on with Tamika is a little, I guess, like odd, Gaucher let her know that she has her back, and it's making her feel welcome in Gaucher's home. So it's good that she does feel like somebody here has my back, because everybody here is friends with Mo. She said that Gaucher is a real woman. So Malaysia is telling Tamika, look, I want all of us to feel comfortable. And basically, Crystal is no fool. She plays on the internet. She knows that she's here with Mo's friends. We do have to get to know her. We have to be fair. Tamika said, I know. Tamika then talks about how her and Monyetta were on Atlanta Exes and that they're a sisterhood. And she believes on holding down her friends. Malaysia also has a friend named Princess who, because it was Malaysia, Princess, and Tamika talking. Another woman named Princess, which is Malaysia's friend, comes and walks by. She's a doctor. She introduces herself and says she's a family practitioner, but she also does basically whatever you want on the outside to look good, weight loss and all that good stuff. The other princess says she needs fixing and a doctor. Dr. Princess says, you look good. And she goes, well, there's a backstory to that. It's a long story. Child, Tamika is over Princess's story. Tamika walks away like, not today. Princess then says, Tamika is over me. Tamika says, you know I am over you because it's vanity. Malaysia said, we can say that, but we still have ours, meaning our boobs. Princess said, thank you. And Princess says she didn't have any boobs for like 5 years. She said after they left the Georgia Plastics office, she got in her car and was like, Tamika doesn't care. She doesn't care about how I feel. Tamika apologizes and says she understands. Princess in her confessional says, look, I addressed how I felt. She apologized. I think we have an understanding. We can move on. I have a feeling it's going to come up again, but who knows? Gaucher thanks everybody for coming out, talks about her pancake and grits line, then she jumps in the pool. So then Malaysia, Crystal, and all the ladies were sitting down. Gaucher comes over and Malaysia says, so how are we going to do this, Tamika? Because you're confusing me. Now, Malaysia and Crystal are sitting next to each other. Tamika's sort of sitting like in front of them, all on this big thing. And she says, how are we going to do this? You're confusing me. Tamika said, I just remember when my dear friend Monyetta was going through this, initially, you and her weren't the best. She's talking to Crystal now. She said, all I remember is her heart regarding that. I'm defensive because I know how that feels. It's rough. Crystal says, I was not an instrument in the demise of that relationship. So I don't feel like I should be penalized between what happened with them. She said, because what I'm going through currently right now is some real ish. Tamika said, Tamika said, that's what she was trying to tell you. So Crystal's like, I'm going through some real stuff right now. Tamika is saying, basically, that's what Monyetta was trying to tell you. That's what she was trying to tell you. Crystal was like, she wasn't trying to tell me nothing. She said she went through her experience. I'm going through mine now. I feel like as women, we've all gone through things with men. Can you at least feel me on that? So I get what she's saying. Like, we've all gone through stuff with men. Can we at least connect on that note outside of Monyetta being your girl? She said, can you understand? I know you felt pain. We've all gone through stuff because of a man, and we battle against each other because of what a man has done. Tamika says, I feel like I'm in people's business. Crystal said, it has to be spoken about. Then Gaucher says, whatever they're going through, meaning Crystal and Neo, it doesn't have anything to do with you, she's telling Tamika. She said, you can't take sides based on your friend. Tamika said, no, that's what I'm saying. I feel like I'm out of my business and I'm out of my business level. In fact, it's time to go. Yep, love y'all. Then she looks at Crystal and says, I'm so sorry. It's nice to meet you. I feel rude. Then she walks out and says, good night, bye, and leaves. and the episode ends. Like I said, I'm definitely going to watch the show. If y'all are not going to watch the show, then I'm not going to review it because what's the point? But it seems like a cute show so far. Like I said, it's not appointment TV for me. That Tamika Raymond is something else. I'm going to tell you that much. Y'all let me know what y'all think, if y'all are going to watch or not. And I will talk to y'all later. Bye.